I see that Colby Covington is going to be fighting Robbie Lawler. Couple of thoughts there. First off, right out of the gate, awesome. What a great fight. And there's also a storyline there. And I hope this gets told. I feel like we've had a couple fights like this, but the story's never been told. These guys, Lawler, Colby, these guys were teammates. In fact, they were teammates when Colby was still an up-and-comer and Robbie Lawler was the sitting champion of the world. Robbie Lawler's days of being an up-and-comer have passed him by about 10 years. That is a veteran and an icon of the division. But as the champion, being in the same room, sparring with, working out with a guy who is an up-and-comer, who you know, even though he's your teammate, wants what you have and is coming after you. I mean, I can only imagine those were some pretty intense moments. I'm also told by talking to guys at the ATT that a lot of times they stayed away from each other. That Lawler was aware, whether it was Covington or whether it was Woodley, whether it was Masvidal, whoever it was in the room, hey, look, we all are fighting for and aspiring to be the same thing, which is champion, which is a title that I currently have. These guys are coming after me. So even though I need to help and I want to help and I want to raise them up, I've also got to be a little bit intelligent about the fact that when they're going with me, they're sizing me, they are studying me, they're ready in their minds for the day that they face me. It was a really interesting spot that Robbie got put in. Good spot. Only one of them's going to be in it. He's going to be called the champion. But you can see where that would come from. Somewhere over time, Robbie Lawler left that gym. Opened the door for guys like Tyron Woodley. And now for Colby Covington. So incredible fight with an incredible backstory. And I hope that story gets told. I think that some of that infighting, I think some of that drama of the gym ultimately leading Lawler to seek training elsewhere. I think that that's fun part of the story and the build-up for the promotion. You've got the former world champion in Robbie, the former interim champion in Colby. I mean, right, it's a super fight. No way around it. It's hard to look at that, though, and not instantly get the larger narrative, which is what's going on at 170. I thought Kamaru Usman was fighting Colby Covington. I thought that because Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington both told us that. I thought that that was even signed off by the promotion. So if Colby is going to fight Robbie, if Askren is going to fight Masvidal, it would seem that the door is now open for a number one contender in that division. Kamaru's already in the car. He's already sitting in the front seat all strapped in, but he needs a passenger. And it would seem as though Askren, Masvidal, it would seem as Lawler's always a good choice. Covington. It would seem that the odd man out of that equation, if we're being totally fair, would be Woodley. Woodley's not going to just slide back into a rematch with Kamaru, most likely. He's going to have to do something in between. At one point, it was Woodley versus Lawler in a rematch. Woodley, I believe, had to pull out of that because of, was it a hand injury? Was it hand? Something happened there, but either way, Colby's in. But let's not miss the bigger story. Let's not miss bigger what we're being told here. Not just to look forward to a great fight between two former teammates, Colby and Robbie, but it also appears that now we're going to see some new vetting. We're going to see some new biting for that number one contendership. And I think absent an opponent, and particularly if he's on the injury list, in fairness, we can probably push T. Wood over here for the time being, and now there's 4. We're down to 4 guys, which that still would be new blood. A lot of people are going to look at Robbie Lawler and go, I don't know if Robbie could really, because he was already there. No. This is fresh blood. Robbie and Kamaru Usman have never met up. They've never fought before. So Robbie is a very good pick for that. Masvidal is gaining all sorts of steam and has had a bunch of fans behind him sitting there going, hey, when's he going to get his shot? Well, coming off a big win. 2, frankly, if you want to count Leon Edwards. Ha. Elbow, wink on that. Get a win over Askren? Be pretty hard to tell him no. And then you got Colby. I thought Colby was already told yes. I thought that was already a yes. So it seems like there's some turmoil and there's some up and down at 170 pounds right now. But I think from a fan, I imagine to be one of those guys I just named, it's probably pretty annoying. To be a fan sitting in my shoes, it's a lot of fun. I like it. I like the parody. I like the drama. I like the fights that we're going to have. I like the fact that Kamaru Usman's in a driver's seat strapped in, waiting for somebody to get in the passenger seat. And don't kid yourself. When the chips fall, he's going to have a say in this too. He will play it publicly in one way, but he will play it privately in another, which is to look at whoever comes out of those fights, look at who he personally believes is the best matchup for him to keep what he wants, which is the belt, and then he'll start to lend his blessing and his hand in that specific direction. That's fun, and it's interesting. It'll be compelling to see what Kamaru wants to do. None of those options are easy, but they're not drawing into anybody easy either. Kamaru's a world champion for a reason. I think he plans to keep that belt, but I think he's got a number of really good options who are coming his way. Let's see how this plays out.